The name Simba instantly conjures images of a beloved cartoon prince, a character who has captured the hearts of millions around the world. But beyond the realm of animation and fairy tales, the name Simba holds a much deeper, more powerful meaning in the wild heart of Africa. Here in the vast and untamed Savannah, real kings are not born into royalty. They earn their crowns through courage, cunning, and sheer will to survive. The African wilderness is a place where legends are not written in ink, but in the dust beneath powerful paws and the echoes of thunderous roars. Beyond the world of fiction, the wild forges its monarchs through relentless trials, through dust, blood, and the daily struggle for survival. Every scar tells a story, every hunt is a test, and every sunrise brings new challenges to overcome. This is the story of a true king named Simba, a lion whose life was shaped by the unforgiving realities of the Masai Mara. In this legendary landscape, Simba's journey unfolds, marked by moments of triumph, heartbreak, and resilience. His mane, thick and dark, was a living testament to the battles he had fought and survived. Each strand carried the memory of a challenge faced, a rival bested, or a territory defended. His roar was not just a sound, it was a declaration of dominion, a warning to rivals, and a call to his pride. Simba's journey was not guided by song or magic, but by the wisdom passed down from his pride and the harsh lessons taught by the wilderness. Every day was a battle for survival, and every victory was hard-won. The bonds he formed with his pride shaped his destiny, teaching him the value of loyalty, strength, and sacrifice. We'll follow Simba from his earliest days as a playful cub tumbling with his siblings, to the lonely years of exile as a young nomad cast out from his home. We'll witness his rise to power as a victorious ruler and share in the poignant moments of his final days, as age and time catch up with even the mightiest of kings. This is not just one lion's biography, it's a tribute to the resilience, the raw beauty, and the indomitable spirit of the real kings of the wild. Through Simba's story we celebrate the enduring legacy of Africa's most iconic predator and the timeless struggle for survival that defines life on the savannah. Simba was born in the heart of the Masai Mara, a vast and untamed wilderness where the golden grass stretches as far as the eye can see. He was one of 3 cubs, each with their own unique markings and personalities, but Simba stood out from the very beginning. The first rays of sunlight that filtered through the acacia trees warmed his tiny body, and the gentle nuzzles from his mother reassured him that he was safe, even in a world filled with uncertainty. Sheltered by his fiercely protective mother and surrounded by the formidable Olari pride, Simba's earliest days were spent nestled in the thick grass, hidden from the prying eyes of predators. The pride was his fortress, a close-knit family where every lioness played a role in raising the cubs, and every adult male stood as a guardian at the edge of their territory. His early days were filled with warmth, play, and the first lessons of survival. The cubs tumbled together in the soft earth, their playful growls echoing through the savannah. These moments of joy were more than just games, they were the foundation of the skills that would one day keep them alive. Every pounce and tumble with his siblings honed the skills he'd need to hunt and defend himself. Through mock battles and gentle bites, Simba learned the art of stealth, the importance of patience, and the value of teamwork. Even as a cub, the lessons of the wild were being etched into his instincts. Even as a cub, Simba was bold. First to explore, first to challenge, always curious. He would often stray a little farther than his siblings, his bright eyes scanning the horizon, eager to discover what lay beyond the safety of the pride. His adventurous spirit sometimes worried his mother, but it was clear that Simba was destined for something greater. The wild was both playground and teacher. Hyenas threatened from the shadows, herds of wildebeest thundered past in great migrations, and the deep, resonant roar of his father marked the boundaries of safety. Danger was never far, and every day brought new challenges and new lessons. Simba learned to recognize the warning calls of birds, the scent of approaching danger, and the subtle signals exchanged between pride members. Under his family's protection, Simba thrived, his mane beginning to grow as he learned the ways of the pride. The older lions taught him respect and discipline, while the lionesses showed him the art of patience and the importance of unity. Each day Simba grew stronger, his confidence building with every new experience. He watched the lionesses hunt with silent precision, their movements a masterclass in cooperation and strategy. The males patrolled the territory, their presence a constant reminder of the strength and responsibility that came with leadership. Simba also witnessed the social bonds that held the group together, the gentle grooming, the playful nuzzles, and the shared moments of rest beneath the shade. These connections were the glue that kept the pride strong, teaching Simba the value of loyalty and trust. These formative years shaped his instincts and character, preparing him for the day he'd have to leave and face the wild alone. The lessons of family, courage, and survival became the pillars of his identity, guiding him as he grew from a playful cub into a young lion ready to carve his own path. In the heart of the Masai Mara, the foundation of a king was laid, one paw step at a time, in the embrace of his family and the wild beauty of the reserve. No young male can stay in the pride forever. As Simba matured, his father and uncle saw him as a rival, forcing him and his cousin into exile. The savannah became a hostile world, every meal hard-won, every day a test of survival. Simba and his cousin learned to scavenge, hunt, and avoid the deadly territories of other males. Their bond deepened through hardship as they faced starvation, predators, and constant threats. The nomadic years were brutal, but they forged Simba's strength, patience, and resilience. He learned the land, the patterns of prey, and the dangers that lurked everywhere. No longer a prince, Simba became a survivor, hardened, resourceful, and ready to claim a kingdom of his own. The wild had transformed him into a formidable adult. Simba and his cousin, now powerful adults, set their sights on a territory ruled by an aging lion called Scarface. The takeover was a drawn-out campaign of roaring, scent-marking, and tense standoffs. The final battle was fierce, Simba and his cousin working together to defeat the old king. Scarface, outmatched, retreated into exile. As new rulers, Simba and his cousin made the hard choices required by lion society, ensuring their own bloodline would continue. The pride was theirs, and Simba's triumphant roar echoed across the plains. From exile to king, he had earned his crown through strength and determination. A new era began under Simba's rule. Simba's reign was defined by strength, vigilance, and strategic leadership. From the moment he took over the pride, he understood that true leadership was not just about dominance, but about responsibility and care. Every decision he made was guided by a deep sense of duty to his family and the land they called home. His golden mane and commanding presence were symbols of his authority, but it was his wisdom and compassion that truly set him apart as a leader. He patrolled his territory tirelessly, marking boundaries and keeping a watchful eye for any signs of danger. His mere presence was enough to deter rivals and intruders, sending a clear message that this land was fiercely protected. Simba's vigilance ensured that his pride remained safe from threats, both seen and unseen, and his courage inspired confidence in every member of the group. Under his rule, the pride flourished. Lionesses hunted successfully, and new cubs thrived. The pride worked together in perfect harmony, each member playing a vital role in their collective survival. The lionesses, skilled and powerful hunters, brought back food for the entire group, while the cubs learned essential skills through play and observation. Simba's leadership created an environment where every lion could reach their full potential. Simba was a patient father, allowing his cubs to play and climb over him, knowing they were his legacy. He watched over them with gentle eyes, teaching them through example and play. These moments of affection and guidance were crucial, as they helped the young lions grow into confident and capable adults. His patience and warmth fostered strong family bonds that would last a lifetime. He led his pride to the best hunting grounds, understood the rhythms of the land, and ensured their survival through drought and abundance. Simba's deep knowledge of the savannah allowed him to anticipate changes in the environment, guiding his pride to water and food even in the harshest seasons. His ability to adapt and make wise choices was key to the pride's ongoing prosperity. His partnership with his cousin made their rule even stronger, allowing them to hold a large, desirable territory. Together they formed a powerful coalition, working side by side to defend their home and support the pride. This alliance brought stability and strength, making it nearly impossible for rivals to challenge their reign. Together, they provided stability and security, creating a golden era for the pride. The pride thrived under their leadership, enjoying peace and plenty. The cubs grew up in a world where they felt safe and protected, and the adults could focus on nurturing the next generation. This period of harmony was a testament to Simba's vision and the strength of his bonds with his family and allies. Simba had become not just a conqueror but a wise and nurturing patriarch. He balanced power with kindness, always putting the needs of his pride above his own. His legacy was not only measured by the territory he held, but by the love and respect he earned from his family. Through his actions, he showed that true greatness comes from leading with both strength and heart. His leadership was the foundation of his family's prosperity, ensuring that future generations would inherit a world of hope, unity, and abundance. A king's reign is never peaceful for long. Simba faced constant threats from rival males and coalitions eager to claim his territory. His body bore scars from countless battles, each one a testament to his resilience. The fiercest challenge came from a trio of young brothers, resulting in a brutal, exhausting fight that left Simba and his cousin wounded but victorious. Defending kills from hyenas and facing dangerous prey like buffalo added to the daily risks. Every victory secured another season of peace for his pride, but each battle took its toll. The pride's survival depended on Simba's strength and courage. His scars were badges of honor, proof of the high price of kingship. In the wild, only the strongest could hold the crown. Time spares no king. As Simba aged, his strength faded and challengers grew bolder. His cousin took on more duties as Simba slowed, but the threats intensified. A coalition of younger males launched a final assault. Simba's cousin fell, and Simba, outnumbered, was defeated and exiled. Old and injured, Simba wandered the edges of his former kingdom, a shadow of his former self. He watched his daughters raise cubs sired by the new kings, the cycle continuing without him. The law of the savannah is harsh. Every reign ends, making way for the next generation. Simba's fall was not a tragedy but part of the eternal circle of life. He had risen, ruled, and now faded into legend. The wild remembers its kings, even as they pass. Simba's legacy lived on through his offspring and the pride he shaped. His daughters formed the new core of the pride, his sons became nomads, spreading his genes across the savannah. For researchers, Simba was a window into lion society. His life provided crucial insights into pride dynamics and survival. His story is a reminder that true kingship is earned through struggle, sacrifice, and the success of one's family. Simba's rise and fall reflect the natural cycles that sustain the wild. His life inspires awe and respect for the untamed world. The real king of the savannah leaves a legacy far greater than a crown. Simba's story is a call to action. Lions face an uncertain future as their habitats shrink and threats multiply. Conservation is vital. Supporting organizations that protect lions, mitigate conflict, and preserve wild spaces is essential. Every effort, donations, responsible tourism, education, helps secure a future for these magnificent animals. We must value living lions and the ecosystems they rule, not just their image. The fate of the king of the savannah is in our hands. Let Simba's story inspire us to act, not just admire. Together, we can ensure the lion's roar remains a living symbol of the wild. The next generation of kings depends on what we do today. In the sun-scorched Serengeti, one name echoed with both reverence and fear: Simba. He was not a storybook character but a real lion king whose reign was forged in blood and conflict. To lead a pride is the ultimate prize, but it's a crown earned daily through force, cunning, and relentless will. Simba's life was a paradox, enjoying the spoils of power, yet always a target for ambitious rivals. His reign was a series of epic battles, each scar a testament to survival. This is the story of a king's fight to protect his family, his throne, and his legacy in the wild. Simba's journey began as a nomad, learning survival on the dangerous fringes of established prides. Every day was a test, hunting alone, fighting over scraps, and clashing with other young males. These brutal lessons honed his aggression into a lethal tool and taught him the politics of lion life. By the time he challenged for a kingdom, Simba was a seasoned warrior, shaped by hardship and ready for power. The wild had stripped away weakness, leaving only strength, cunning, and an unbreakable will. Simba's rule began with a hard-fought victory, a moment that marked the dawn of a new era for the pride. The savannah, bathed in golden light, seemed to celebrate his triumph. Yet beneath the surface, the winds of change stirred uneasily. Every lion in the region watched with keen eyes, sensing opportunity and danger in equal measure. Simba's ascent to power was not just a personal achievement, it was a signal, a challenge, and a warning to all who might covet his throne. But with his victory came a heavy price. Almost immediately Simba found himself the focus of envy and ambition. His presence, once a symbol of hope, now painted a target on his back. Rivals lurked in the shadows, testing his resolve with every passing day, waiting for the slightest sign of weakness. The greatest threat emerged in the form of a formidable coalition, 3 powerful brothers, united by blood and ambition. These challengers were not ordinary rivals. They moved with purpose, their every step a calculated test of Simba's strength. Together they prowled the borders of his territory, probing for vulnerabilities, their eyes fixed on the prize of dominance. Simba understood that brute force alone would not be enough. He waged a campaign of psychological warfare, patrolling his borders relentlessly, leaving fresh scent marks on every tree and bush. Each night, his roars thundered across the plains, a declaration of his unyielding presence. The echoes carried a message. This land was claimed, and its king was vigilant. When the coalition finally invaded, the savannah erupted in chaos. Simba did not hesitate. Drawing on his experience and cunning, he refused to be drawn into a single, overwhelming confrontation. Instead, he used the terrain to his advantage, isolating each brother, turning their unity into a weakness. Dust swirled as claws and teeth clashed in a battle for supremacy. Outnumbered but unyielding, Simba fought with a ferocity that stunned his enemies. He anticipated their moves, countered their attacks, and never allowed fear to take hold. His strategy was as sharp as his claws, and his courage inspired those who watched from afar. The odds were against him, but Simba refused to yield an inch of his kingdom. The coalition, shaken by Simba's relentless defense and unexpected tactics, began to falter. Their confidence shattered, the brothers broke ranks, fleeing into the tall grass, their dreams of conquest dashed by the king's indomitable will. The savannah, once filled with the sounds of battle, fell silent as the challengers disappeared into the distance. Simba stood alone, battered and scarred, but victorious. Each wound was a testament to his bravery, each breath a reminder of the price of leadership. The pride gathered around him, their faith in their king renewed. Simba had proven that his kingdom would not be taken easily, and that true strength lay not just in muscle, but in heart and mind. As the sun rose once more, Simba's legend as a king was just beginning. The savannah would remember this day, and so would every lion who dared to challenge his reign. Triumph in the wild is fleeting. Simba's pride brought down a massive buffalo, but the kill drew rival lions. The challengers wanted the feast, but Simba stood between them and his family. This was more than food, it was a test of authority. Simba's unwavering posture and explosive roar sent a clear message: he would defend what was his at any cost. After a tense standoff, the rivals backed down, unwilling to risk a deadly fight. Simba's dominance was reaffirmed, his pride fed, and his rule unchallenged. Every victory reinforced his status as the undisputed king. Night in the savannah is a time of danger, when the world is cloaked in shadows and every sound carries a threat. For Simba, this night would become the ultimate test of his strength and spirit. Wounded and weary, he lay beneath the pale moonlight, his body aching from a recent battle. Yet even as pain coursed through him, he remained vigilant, knowing that the darkness often brings new dangers. The savannah, usually alive with the calls of distant animals, now seemed to hold its breath as if anticipating the storm to come. Simba's senses were sharp, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of movement. He knew that in the wild, weakness is never hidden for long. Suddenly, out of the darkness, 4 young male lions emerged, their eyes glinting with ambition and hunger. They moved with silent determination, using the cover of night to mask their approach. These were not strangers, but rivals, outsiders who had been watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Their goal was clear: to overthrow Simba and claim the pride for themselves. The air was thick with tension as they crept closer, their bodies low to the ground, muscles coiled and ready to pounce. In the wild, such challenges are inevitable, and only the strongest survive. Despite the searing pain from his wounds, Simba refused to back down. He rose to his feet, positioning himself between the invaders and his pride. Every instinct told him to protect his family at all costs. Using the rocks and tall grass for cover, he made himself appear larger, more formidable, even as blood stained his golden fur. The lionesses watched, their trust in their leader unwavering. Simba's presence alone was a shield, a silent promise that he would not let harm come to those he loved. With a thunderous roar that echoed across the plains, Simba called his pride to action. The lionesses, emboldened by his courage, rallied behind him, forming a united front. Their eyes blazed with determination, ready to defend their home and their leader. The night was filled with the sounds of snarls and growls, a symphony of defiance against the intruders. In that moment, the pride became a single force, each member drawing strength from the others. The battle erupted in a frenzy of claws and teeth, shadows twisting and colliding in the moonlight. Dust and fur filled the air as the pride fought with everything they had. Simba, despite his injuries, moved with a desperate ferocity, his every action fueled by love and duty. The attackers, once so confident, began to falter in the face of such unity and resolve. The chaos of the fight was overwhelming, but through it all, Simba's courage shone like a beacon, guiding his pride through the darkness. At last, the coalition of young males broke, their will shattered by the pride's relentless defense. Bloodied and battered, Simba stood tall as the defeated rivals slunk away into the night, their dreams of conquest dashed. The savannah slowly returned to its quiet, the threat having passed. Simba's body bore the scars of battle, but his spirit remained unbroken. As dawn painted the sky with soft hues of gold and pink, Simba stood alone, his silhouette framed by the rising sun. Every scar was a testament to his bravery, every breath a reminder of his victory. He had survived the long, perilous night, proving to all who watched that even when wounded, his will was unbreakable. The savannah once again belonged to its rightful king. As his family gathered around him safe and unharmed, Simba knew that his courage had become legend. The pride nuzzled close, grateful for their leader's strength. In the heart of the savannah, under the first light of day, the story of Simba's courage in the darkness would be told for generations to come. Simba's reign was built on more than strength. It was a masterclass in strategy. He patrolled relentlessly, marking territory and broadcasting his power with thunderous roars. His dark mane signaled health and dominance, deterring many rivals before a fight began. In battle, Simba fought smart, isolating opponents, conserving energy, and striking with precision. His hunting skills kept the pride strong and loyal, while his resilience allowed him to recover from wounds that would fell lesser lions. Simba's rule was a blend of intimidation, tactical brilliance, and survival instinct. This complete toolkit made him a true lion king. Even a king needs allies. Simba adapted to survive droughts and rival pressures. He focused on defending vital resources, consolidating territory when stretched thin. Sometimes he formed unspoken alliances with neighboring kings, creating a united front against invading coalitions. Simba's leadership brought stability to his pride, raising strong cubs and ensuring their survival. His adaptability and strategic partnerships showcased intelligence beyond instinct. The weight of the crown was immense, but Simba bore it with resilience and cunning. His reign became a legendary epic on the savannah. Time, as it does for all living things, eventually caught up with Simba, the once mighty king of the savannah. His mane, once thick and golden, had faded and thinned, and the scars of countless battles marked his face and body. The years had been kind in some ways, gifting him wisdom and respect, but they had also slowed his powerful stride and dulled his once razor-sharp reflexes. Simba, who had ruled with strength and fairness, now found himself facing the inevitable twilight of his reign. As Simba grew older, the balance of power in the savannah began to shift. New challengers, hungry for dominance and eager to prove themselves, started to appear on the horizon. Among them was the Mpogo coalition, a fearsome brotherhood of 6 powerful males united by blood and ambition. Their arrival sent shockwaves through the land, for never before had such a formidable force threatened the established order. The Mpogo lions were ruthless, their reputation for violence and conquest preceding them wherever they went. Simba, though aged, was not one to surrender easily. Drawing upon every ounce of wisdom and strength that years of leadership had given him, he stood his ground. He roared with defiance, his voice echoing across the plains, a warning to all who would dare challenge his authority. The old king's spirit remained unbroken, even as his body began to betray him. But the odds were overwhelming. The Mpogo brothers, young and in their prime, circled him with relentless determination. Their youth, strength, and unity made them a force unlike any Simba had ever faced before. The savannah watched in tense silence as the old king prepared for the greatest challenge of his life. In a series of brutal, dust-choked battles, Simba fought valiantly. The clashes were fierce and unforgiving, echoing the timeless struggle for survival that defines life in the wild. Each confrontation tested the limits of his endurance and resolve. The Mapogo coalition pressed their advantage, their numbers and ferocity slowly wearing down the legendary king. Ultimately, Simba was finally defeated, not by a single rival, but by the combined might of a new generation. His strength waned, and the relentless attacks left him battered and exhausted. The Savannah, which had once trembled at his roar, now watched as he was forced to yield to the inevitable. Exiled and wounded, Simba's reign came to a close. He limped away from the pride he had protected for so many years, his body marked by the scars of his final battles. Yet, even in defeat, there was no shame, only the dignity of a king who had given everything for his family and his land. His legacy, built on courage and sacrifice, would not be forgotten. During his reign, Simba had raised many cubs, teaching them the ways of the wild and the responsibilities of leadership. He had watched over the next generation, ensuring that his wisdom and values would live on long after he was gone. Through his offspring and the young lions he mentored, Simba's bloodline and spirit would continue to shape the destiny of the pride. The playful cubs in the grass, the young lions learning to hunt and protect, these were the living proof of his enduring influence. His final stand was not a failure, but a testament to his unwavering resolve. Even in his last moments as king, Simba faced his fate with courage and grace, refusing to surrender his dignity. The end of Simba's reign was not a tragedy, but the honorable conclusion of a magnificent era. His story became legend, told and retold by those who witnessed his bravery and leadership. Simba was remembered not just as a ruler, but as a symbol of courage, wisdom, and the enduring spirit of the wild, a king whose legacy would inspire generations to come. Simba's legend outlived his reign. His true victory was the legacy he left behind. He provided years of stability, raising strong cubs who would shape the next generation. His epic battles became stories told across the plains, a benchmark for all future kings. Simba's life revealed the brutal reality of lion politics and the courage required to rule. The throne is never owned, only defended. Simba delayed the inevitable longer than most. His name, whispered on the winds of the Serengeti, remains a symbol of the ultimate Lion King.